Hello everyone, it is the evening of, well, almost the morning of April 8th, April 7th, 2013, and this is a quick wrap-up review opinion of WrestleMania 29 from MetLife Stadium in New Jersey / New York, apparently. So I'm just gonna run down the quick card and give you a quick review of things here. Really go through it all at the end, in my opinion. But here's a quick review. The pre-show on YouTube, which you're watching now, obviously, was Wade Barrett versus The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship. Ultimately, The Miz goes over and wins the Intercontinental Championship. In the pre-show, the first match official. Whoa! Nice try. You're trying to fly away from me. The the official first match of WrestleMania 29 is a match between The Shield versus Big Show, Randy Orton, and Sheamus. Very quickly in. Randy Orton does turn heel again, and The Shield goes over in WrestleMania, which is not a surprise. The next match is for the WWE Tag Team Championship with Dolph Ziggler and Big E Langston, or Dolphy B, or Dolphy E, whatever the hell they're calling it now, versus Team Hell No, Daniel Bryan and Kane. Dolph and Big E Langston go over and win the Tag Team Championships. Next is a match between Chris Jericho and Fandango, and as expected yet again, Chris Jericho did put over Fandango, and so Chris Jericho lost to Fandango in that match, in Fandango's premiere match in the WWE, and his first match at WrestleMania. The next match is for the World Heavyweight Championship, Alberto Del Rio versus Jack Swagger. Ultimately, what's his name? Alberto Del Rio does get over on Jack Swagger with the crossarm breaker dealio. Jack Swagger taps out, and that's over. Next is the match between Undertaker and CM Punk. This one had a lot of back and forth finishes. As a matter of fact, the last three matches of the night had a lot of back and forth fake finishes type of thing, where you thought it was going to happen, and this was going to win, and this was going to win. A lot of that in this. And ultimately, The Undertaker does defeat CM Punk. Next match is Triple H versus Brock Lesnar. Once again, a lot of back and forths, false finishes, unbelievable moves, but ultimately Triple H does go over on Brock Lesnar and pins Brock Lesnar. And then the big match of the night, The Rock, the WWE Champion, versus John Cena for the title. A lot of back and forth false finishes with this one, and ultimately the win does go to John Cena in a clean victory over The Rock, and John Cena thereby becoming the new WWE Tag Team Champion. Out of 4 titles defended in the evening, 3 changed hands. The only one that did not change hands once again was the World Heavyweight Championship, which stays around Alberto Del Rio. Now, here is an opinion of this. This was the only reason this was worthwhile for me to watch was because of the people I was in the company of watching, because I got to watch it with my brother and my mother, and being in the company of family was what made it entertaining, because we were joking around. Overall, this WrestleMania was really predictable and really obnoxious. There were performances by P. Diddy and In Living Color. I almost called them The Color of Money, which is actually a movie with Tom Cruise and Paul Newman. But In Living Color wasn't bad, although their performance was really oddly placed Based on all the stuff that they've done with CM Punk to make him look disturbing and evil, to have In Living Color bringing him in, it kind of took away from the sinister nature of CM Punk. But before that was P. Diddy. I thought that In Living Color did better than P. Diddy. I don't know, it could have been the mood of the atmosphere for WrestleMania, but it did seem rather slow and sluggish and almost unentertaining at a lot of points. There were a lot of false finishes in those final three matches, really starting with the World Heavyweight Championship. They started doing a lot of false finishes, but ultimately the last three matches, CM Punk and Undertaker, Triple H and Brock Lesnar, and John Cena versus The Rock, those were the ones that had the most false finishes, just back and forth. Oh my God, it's over, it's over. I mean, there must have been at least 10 in each one of those matches. That's how many false finishes they had. And in a way, it kind of took away from it, because you kind of felt the trend happening there. Overall, it was just a very sluggish WrestleMania, in my opinion, in a lot of ways. The segues were not very strong. CM Punk really carried the match between he and The Undertaker, even though the match was probably the best one of the night of all of them. I think ultimately that CM Punk did carry The Undertaker, because he was doing all the high-flying moves. He really took a lot of the abuse so that The Undertaker did not, what was his name, Mark Galloway or whatever it is, or Calloway, so he did not have to, go through a lot of physical torture. CM Punk took a ton of torture, as did, in a lot of ways, both Brock Lesnar and Triple H. They both seemed to take a lot of physical damage in this one. I was actually fairly impressed by how physical the two of them got. The CM Punk match was just great because there was a lot of high-flying stuff in it, and CM Punk really put his body out there. I thought it was pretty strong. Triple H and Brock Lesnar was definitely the second quality match of the night. John Cena and The Rock was the third, even though it was the headliner event. Probably was the third, obviously, and then we'll just go Swagger and Del Rio was fourth, and just sort of you can go down the line on that one. There's really nothing after fourth place. It's just all kind of so really, out of a score of 5 stars, I would give this probably about a 3.25. Really mediocre at best. Definitely not a great WrestleMania. The performances that they chose, the people who performed at the event, did not really have a lot of stuff going for them. They were real sluggish and slow, and I thought it was a very disjointed, almost out of place WrestleMania. The way it was structured was really, it was more boring, a little more exciting, a little more exciting, a little more exciting, now really exciting. There weren't breathers throughout it between really big matches. It was more like, okay, here's the crap you don't really want to see, but you're going to see it first, and then we'll get to the big stuff, and that was pretty much it. So the pacing was off. There wasn't peaks and valleys and made you get up and get excited. And the last, hour, basically, or hour and a half, you wanted to sit there and watch everything because those were the matches you wanted to see. So 3.25 out of 5 stars. Definitely would not spend the money, the $60 or $70, or even the DVD money on it. I'm sure you can find it for free somewhere online, or just watch the reviews that numerous people are posting online. And everything that was predicted to have happened in these matches pretty much came true. Everybody thought Cena was going to go over on The Rock, and there's now a setup potentially for Rock versus Cena in WrestleMania 30, although there is also a strong likelihood that they're going to let it go with The Rock, and Cena is going to go into a battle with Undertaker for next year, and it will be the final match for Undertaker, and he will be retired at WrestleMania 30. So I think there's 2 potentials for Cena there. The other one, Triple H, I think he kind of knew Triple H was going to win this one because Brock had won the last one, so I think that was pretty an inevitability, and it was kind of a vengeance thing. I think with CM Punk and The Undertaker, it could have been left open in the air if it had been the last match of the night. However, with it being on the card where it was at, there was no way they were going to bury the streak loss for The Undertaker in the middle of the show or in the, top second third of the show. I think it was either the last match and you knew there was a chance it was going to change, or there was going to be an end to the streak, or you just knew, okay, at this point, the way it was placed in the card, that Undertaker was going to go over and maintain the streak, although CM Punk did a hell of a job. And then Swagger and Del Rio, based on the issues, the personal issues that is going on with Jack Swagger and Alberto Del Rio, really with Swagger in his possession and DUIs, I don't think there was a way they were going to let him go over on Del Rio at this point. They're just not working. So there's a lot of the main events of this match were all pretty much predictable, and based on what the internet wrestling community thought, it was expected. Even the Fandango versus Chris Jericho match, Chris Jericho puts his heart and soul into these things, and really is one of the most generous talents, because he's ready to put over people now that are so young and up and coming that this legend in the industry will let his shoulders down the mat so that someone else can grow. So he's probably the most generous of the performers in the WWE as far as helping to get over new talent. And I think a lot of people knew that he was going to do that at WrestleMania. I don't think people thought that he was going to beat someone who was just starting their career, because Jericho is in a place now financially, and not only that, but legendary status, quote unquote, to where he can get away with taking losses and it won't damage his reputation. So very predictable WrestleMania overall. 3.25 out of 5 stars. Feel free to leave your comments and your opinions below. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great night and take care of yourself.